Hey everyone, Dr. Vic here. Excited to be here with y'all. Hope you had an amazing Valentine's Day yesterday. There's something that came into meditation with me today I thought was crucial that I share with you that can truly help break barriers in many different ways. I wrote about this in my book called The Walk in the Dark, and I talk about how this one thing is the cause of all suffering. Well, what's also interesting is this one thing is also the cause of what's blocking you from experiencing your dreams. It's what's blocking you from not allowing you to create the life that you desire. One thing we know for sure is we're spiritual alchemists. We are creators in our life. So we're always constantly creating, whether you're aware of that or not aware of that. You are creating every single day of your life. And those accumulations of choices and things you have done from the past is what's led you to what you're experiencing today. So the thing I'm discussing, and if you followed me on my podcast before and so forth, you know I've mentioned this, but it's one of the things about the biggest roadblock to your dreams, and also the biggest reason why we suffer as humans, is resistance. We resist what we desire, and you're going to persist. So whatever resist is going to persist. You're putting energy into the actual thing that you don't want. Sometimes that can be fear, that can be low self-esteem, that can be a low self-worth, that can be the fear of success just as much as the fear of failure. There's so many limited belief systems. A lot of things come into these realms that create this resistance, and you block and you say, nope, this is not what I want to do. Or you're trying to prevent something, right? The fear of failure. You're trying to prevent what may or may not happen, but you're in your mind, you've created that in some way, shape, or form. And so that resistance becomes a block for you, because you have to understand the universe is always giving to you. And if you don't like the word universe, God, Jesus, Yahweh, the label doesn't matter. There's always love pouring to you to support you, to co-create with you, to create the life that you desire. And if you're in the only way that it doesn't work out in our favor is we resist that. We block the energy that's flowing to us, and we shift it into other realms, and we put our focus into other things. So when we're doing this in our life, this is why we don't achieve the things that we desire. We're not creating it, or not creating in the time we want, right? Because energy is flowing. And when you're in alignment like this, everything just comes to you very quickly. And so, if you're listening to this and you like this so far, throw some likes in there for me, so I know that I'm hitting some vibes for you guys, whether it's the replay or live. And it's one of the things that, okay, so resistance is what blocks all things. Resistance is what creates all suffering. Well, then what the heck do I do to break that? How do I let go of that? Well, there's a lot of things. I can't share this all in one quick video for you, but what I can is give you some tips. And one of them is you got to learn to let go. Right. And understand that you really come to the root of what's the cause, right? I was sharing some earlier. Is it a fear of failure? Is it a fear of success? Is it a fear of this? Is it a limited belief system? Do you have a low self-worth? And these things, if you want it just a little deeper into the subconscious mind, these are things from 0 to 7. And that's where it all stems. That's where that exists. That's where our brain was like a sponge in a theta brainwave state that we just absorbed all things and attracted, make it seem that's what life was. And so then what we are really as adults are just wounds and issues of what we were as children. So looking from there and understanding and seeing what shows up, because the universe is always going to present to you what you need to work on, what you need to grow with, what you need to break through to get to those levels where you want to get to. That's all it's there to do. And it's doing it out of love, right? When you want strength and you ask for strength, the universe, God, and so forth is not going to just give you strength. They're going to give you circumstances and situations to help you find your inner strength and develop that. When you ask for confidence, it's going to be the exact same thing. You're not going to just be given it. The universe is going to provide for you in some way, shape, or form to do just that. It's always here. It's our best friend. It's there to support us in every step of this way. But we can be those blocks if we do not learn to just find out where it is. Because what happens with people when we don't do that kind of work first, you're doing things over and over and over again, always hitting a ceiling. You may break out of it, might find a new norm, but you never really explode. There's not this like big quantum leap. I'm talking massive shifts in your life, not only just from a financial standpoint, but business, life, relationships, health, so forth. It's just a huge explosion. And the reason why is because you're not holding back. You're not resisting. And when you have that energy flowing, things can quickly happen. So pay attention, give awareness to what are you seeing show up repetitively? Because when there's a repetition to this is science. When there's a repetition to something, then all of a sudden it develops a pattern. And when we have a pattern, now we got to start looking at why, start asking the questions, start doing some inner work, spend time with yourself. This is stuff that you can massively do to create just that. And once you start to break these barriers and start to realize what it is and why, then we got to do the work. And this is where the work comes in. And when we do these kind of things, this is how all of a sudden we can get more with less. And what that means is that now you're starting to work smarter, not harder. Because before you had to do all this work to break the mold to get to a certain point. And now when you fix the little things, these resistant barriers that are holding you back, what's there not to stop you now? What's there not to create any other aspect of your life that you want to desire? Right? And so that's the key point I wanted to share with you guys today, is understanding that resistance is the number one factor of what causes all suffering, but it is also the biggest roadblock. So finding that. The second is letting go and trusting. Too many times humans, we went through this with COVID, there's too many times that humans do not like uncertainty. It's one thing we just don't enjoy. We like to have control, especially with the information era. I think that has built up more of a certainty aspect and an ego perspective, that we need to know every step of the way or need to know how this could go and so forth. And it creates a lot of anxiety. It creates a lot of issues because we can't control. One of the things is when your mind's focusing on the future, it's going to have anxiety, racing thoughts, anxiousness. These are some of the patterns. And so what we need to do then is say, okay, first we find what the root cause is. Number two, know that everything's going to work out the way it's supposed to, because when you know this truth, this code, that you are the creator and you are creating your life, co-creating with the universe, God, or Yahweh, whatever that label is for you, now all of a sudden you're creating massive transformation in your life. There's nothing holding you back. And this is 2 steps that if you just do this work, I know it seems I take months to teach and process this with clients, but it's one of the things where if you just take these couple little things and really just tack in and spend some time with yourself here, massive changes. And so give me some love in the comments, or say, I am worthy. If you know that you're worthy for your dreams and you're worthy of achieving those things, put that in the comments, throw some love and likes for that. And, but that's what I got for you today, guys. This was on my heart today. It was something that I felt I needed to share. So if this is the person that I'm supposed to share this with, I hope this really resonates and helps you in this process. But greatly appreciate you tuning in. And as always, talk to you guys next time.